If you saw my video on me voting on the Game Awards a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last week or so, I did talk about how I would be reserving the best independent game category for my own separate video because I wanted to play every single game and give my full thoughts on it because I hadn't played Ball Pit at the time, and I wanted to get a few more runs in on games like Absolum, Hades 2, and Blueprints, and kind of get further in the game into Expedition 33 and kind of remember how I felt about Silksong. So this is that video. So I'm going to talk about every single one of these games, my thoughts on it. At the end, we're going to go back to that voting page on the Game Awards and then vote what I think will win best indie game. So kind of give my full thoughts on it. Also, I'm going to talk about these games in order of playtime, not in order of how I feel about them. I will talk about that at the end. And so yeah, let's talk about them right now. Also, by the way, full spoilers for every single game, especially Expedition 33. Okay, I don't know if this is going to be a hot take, but I really did not enjoy Ball Pit as much as probably most people did. I get it. It's a good game, and I think it captures what Vampire Survivors did in its own format, which is like the Brick Breaker game format. But I don't know. As I was playing this game, and I played it for a few hours, so I'm like, I don't really see the appeal of it. I saw a little bit of the fun. You can kind of get crazy with the builds with all the different balls that you collect. But as I kept playing it, I was like, I don't really get it. I mean, if this is it, great, but I don't really understand why this is worthy of best indie game. I don't understand. So somebody in the comments will have to tell me as to why this deserves to be in that spot. I don't really know, but I would love to know why, because I don't know. I don't really get the vibe of this game. One of the things that really frustrated me is the upgrading of your base when you go back to it for the permanent upgrades. You have to basically do the Brick Breaker game in that to upgrade all of the buildings, and I don't really think I enjoyed that as much as I thought I would. So yeah, I don't really get Ball Pit. I'm trying not to be as harsh on it because it is a good game. It's a well-made game. It's great. The music's actually fantastic, is what kept me in the game for so long. But aside from that, I don't really get Ball Pit. I don't really understand it. Wasn't really my funnest experience overall, just in terms of roguelikes in general, which I will talk about that at the end as well. And so yeah, I don't really get Ball Pit. Let me know in the comments how you feel about Ball Pit. It was fun, but I don't really understand why it deserves to be in this category. It may not be reflected on Steam, but I actually have put more hours into Blueprints than Ball Pit, just because I played Blueprints on Xbox Game Pass. I had like a free Game Pass subscription for about a month, and so that's when I played it. And then when it expired, I didn't want to pay for it anymore, so I ran out just buying the game on Steam. So yeah, I put more time into Blueprints, and man, this game is so good. It's so mysterious. I love the puzzle format, and it's so fun to go through all the different rooms and try to get as far as I can and just figure out just like this whole puzzle. I know there's like a deeper narrative into it. I haven't really gotten into the deeper narrative of this game, and I need to put more time into it. As I was playing the game and getting footage for it, I was like, man, I just want to do as many runs as I can do because I am having a blast with Blueprints, and it definitely deserves this spot. Whereas Ball Pit, I don't really feel like it does, but Blueprints definitely is. And I feel like Blueprints has kind of been one of those dark horse games that has come out this year. It was like, yeah, it had its moment, and I think a lot of people talked about it, but after it had its moment and everybody was talking about it, it kind of just didn't exist anymore. But I'm so glad it's being recognized in this category, as well as I think maybe a couple others as well. And so yeah, Blueprints is great. If you haven't played Blueprints, it's great. And yeah, it's surprising that a puzzle game like this is a roguelike, but it's more of a puzzle game where you have to really think about the rooms that you're choosing. I just didn't expect a game like this to kind of break through the mold and have people talk about it as good as they did. But yeah, Blueprints is great. Had a great time with it. Absolum oozes style. It is so good. One of the best beat 'em ups to come out this year. And at the time of this recording, I haven't played Marvel Cosmic Invasion because at the time of recording this, it hasn't come out. But I did purchase the game, and I will be playing it. I don't know if I'll talk about it on the channel, but I will be playing Marvel Cosmic Invasion because it's actually made by the same devs who made Absolum. But Absolum, man, is just cooking on all cylinders. It's just the moment-to-moment gameplay is so satisfying. It's so much fun to just beat beat up and mow down enemies, use your abilities, grow in power as you get the different rituals, use all the different characters, learn about the lore, hear the music, go through the runs, fight the bosses, hit them off against walls, do your combos, collect companions. Everything is just so well done about this game, and man, it's so good. It's so much fun. And you saw the video that I did on it about a couple weeks ago, and it was fantastic. I have an immense love for this game, and it's making me so much more in love with the beat 'em up genre, which I wanted to play more beat 'em ups like this. I'm so glad that Daimu like dipped their hands in this, and they really are revitalizing the beat 'em up genre with games like this. So Absolum is a fantastic game, definitely earns a spot on there, and I'm having a blast with it. Let me know your favorite character. I don't really know who my favorite character is on Absolum, man. I've played every single one of them, and I think they're great in their own right. They all have their own unique abilities. Something about Brome is like very satisfying, when especially with his magic and his special ability, and especially when you get all of his different arcana. So yeah, it's great. I love Absolum. I know a lot of people have been too. What can I say about Clair Obscur Expedition 33 other than it's one of the best games to come out this year? It has been talked about since it's come out. It came out in April, and that's the one thing that's been hard about this year, is that if you didn't come out sometime in the fall or even recently, because I know recency bias is a huge thing, if you weren't so dominant in the beginning of the year, you probably weren't going to get talked about in these Game of the Year discussions. And so Clair Obscur literally has the staying power to stand the test of time. It has been talked about so much since it came out, and games that have come out before and after it kind of been pale in comparison, especially in the same genre. I know KCD2 is in the RPG genre, but Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is just one of those generational games that this is the game that people will be talking about. I was talking about this game with somebody recently, and I was thinking that, man, this is probably how people felt when they played Final Fantasy VII for the first time. I think Expedition 33 will probably be the Final Fantasy for a lot of people when they go into RPGs, because a lot of people did not grow up, especially in this modern era. A lot of people didn't play Final Fantasy VII, and they're just getting into RPGs. I think a lot of people haven't played anything turn-based until they started playing Expedition 33. So it has done so much to break the mold of RPGs, and it's done so much to kind of get people into the turn-based genre, and it does so well in every single aspect. I will say one point of criticism is that Unreal Engine 5 is not the best engine for this game. I don't know what is, because I'm not a game developer. I don't know what will work best. And even trying to get footage for this game, every time I would get the cutscenes, the screen tearing would go crazy. I'm trying to adjust settings on my PC, and I just didn't get the best settings in the cutscenes, but the gameplay was great. Everything else in the gameplay was great. It was just the cutscenes that kind of dragged it down a little bit, because I just kept seeing screen tearing throughout. But again, the visuals, the art, the music, everything is so good in Expedition 33. I love it. Peak cinema, the Scorsese meme remains, and I already picked it as my game of the year, and I'll talk about that again. Will it remain my game of the year? Yes, it actually will remain my game of the year. But man, a Clair Obscur Expedition 33, generational game, fantastic. Love it so much, and I know the discussion around it being an indie game is up for contention, because Kepler Interactive is not an indie publisher, and so there's a lot of controversy behind that, but it's in the category. I don't really feel like this is a Dave the Diver situation. I feel like this is a little bit different. Kepler Interactive is a little bit smaller, and it does fund more indie game projects. And Sandfall Interactive, they raised a lot of money themselves. They do have a core dev team of about 33 people, and they did contract people. But again, there's a lot of semantics, there's a lot of definitions when it comes to the term indie game. But I feel like this game still fits in the indie game category, and that's why it's here, and it's fantastic. I'm definitely going to eat my words when it comes to Silksong, because in the video that I put out before Silksong was released, I did talk about kind of the 3 points that it was going to come up against. Like, is it going to be better than Hollow Knight? Is it going to meet fan expectations? And there are other games that have come out before and after it that are going to be in competition with it. And I gotta say, on all 3 points, Silksong blows them out of the water. Yes, it is a better successor to Hollow Knight, and it does so well. It enhances the visuals, the music music is better. Christopher Larkin is cooking. You can see his growth as a composer as you go forward from Hollow Knight to Silksong. The movement, the combat, everything is just better and just more refined in what it already exists in the Hollow Knight series. And I think Hornet is a great character. She speaks, she has a lot more better movement options, and the game is just overall fun, even though it's incredibly difficult. So yes, it is definitely a successor and a good worthy sequel to Hollow Knight. And yes, it definitely met fan expectations. It blew everybody out of the water. It broke multiple stores on day one, and ever since it has come out, people have been playing it, singing its praises, and it meets everything. Even though, again, the difficulty conversation comes into play with games like this, but I think Silksong does well to just remind you that you have everything at your disposal. Use your tools, explore, use everything that you need, and that you can overcome the challenges. And I did that, and I got past all the challenges, even though it took me a while to get past all those challenges, and it was fantastic, and I loved it. Again, peak cinema, as I said in the video when I talked about how I beat Silksong. And so I want to go back and get into Act 3 and to see the craziness there is, but I've been taking a break from it because I've been playing so many other games, and I didn't want to get too bogged down with Silksong, but I had a fantastic time with Silksong. It is definitely worthy of minute. I'm so glad that it finally came out and I was able to experience this game for myself. It is one of the best Metroidvanias to come out this year. I've said so much about Supergiant Games as a whole, and how Hades, the first game, was the game that got me back into playing games seriously. And without Hades, the first game, I would have not started this channel. So Hades 2 fires on all cylinders. It improves so much of what Hades the original did. The visuals are improved, the music is great. Darren Korb was also cooking in this game. Yeah, these last three games are just all-timers, just generational games. And ever since it has come out in early access, you can see the continual stair-stepping of improvement that Supergiant has done for Hades 2 all the way up into the 1.0 release, where everything is just so good. And yes, I put so much time into it in early access, and playing it on 1.0 just feels just like a breath of fresh air, and the runs are satisfying, the story is so satisfying. It's just one of those games for me personally that I can just go back to when I just want to play a roguelike, just a really good roguelike. It's like, yeah, Hades 2 is always going to be there for me. It's always going to be there, just waiting for me to pick it up and play it more, and to get more runs in, to hear the wonderful voice acting, to hear the wonderful music, to find the best builds, to find all the boons, to just learn more about this fantastic story that I have grown up with. That's something that has been so pivotal to my own gaming life and my gaming journey. So yeah, Hades 2, an all-timer for me. And in a year where Clair Obscur Expedition 33 and Silksong didn't come out, Hades 2 would have been my game of the year. But like I said, Expedition 33 is a generational game, just like these other two. But I feel like Expedition 3 takes it. It's just going to take it for everything. I know it's probably going to be that way for the entirety of this award season. It already has, especially with golden joysticks. But yeah, Hades 2, good point to Hades 2. It is just a good game. It does well. It's one of the best roguelikes to come out this year, and it is amazing. I loved Hades 2, everything about it. Still playing it to get the full story, still playing it to kind of finish all my runs and do a lot of cleanup within Hades 2, but I could just play this for so many more hours. So let's go back to this voting page and to tell you what is going to be my pick for best independent game. Something that needs to be said in regards to this entire category. Like I said, I love Hades 2. It's one of the best roguelikes to come out this year. Love Blueprints. It is technically a roguelike. Didn't really love Ball Pit as much, but I can see it. It's a good game. Absolum, one of the best beat 'em ups to come out this year. But you can see a problem with having the 4 different roguelikes on this, and that's a huge snub to a lot of games that have come out this year that have better gameplay and story than Ball Pit. I would say if I were to take off 2 of these, I would probably take off Absolum and Ball Pit. Even though I love Absolum, I don't feel like it needs to be there, and Ball Pit, I don't feel like it needs to be there at all, just personally speaking, because I feel like there needs to be more diversity in the indie game category. So yeah, you have the best Metroidvania, yeah, you have the best RPG, yeah, you have the best roguelike. I think Blueprints, even though it is a roguelike, it's more of a puzzle game. So I would probably give it a pass in terms of just being on this list, because it's more of a puzzle game. So For these two, I would probably put like a narrative game, something like a Citizen Sleeper 2, maybe The Drifter, maybe Wheel World, maybe even Consume Me, and maybe other games like Despelote in here to replace these two. So yeah, too many roguelikes in this. And I love roguelikes. I'm a roguelike sicko. I play so many roguelikes throughout this year, and I'll talk about that when I get to that at the end of the year. And so yeah, I don't hate roguelikes. It's one of my most played genres, but I feel like there are too many roguelikes. It's an over-representation of the genre here. So yeah, I would love to see a different diversity in the genre next time in this. So that being said, let's cast our vote for best independent game, which is for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game mode outside the traditional publisher system. And already off the bat, it's going to be between these three, and I'll talk about them again. Silksong, great game, hard game, loved it. Hades 2, without Supergiant as a whole, I would not be where I'm at today in terms of gaming and in terms of this channel. So Hades 2 is an all-timer. It will always be there for me. But again, generational game, generational talent. I gotta go with Clair Obscur Expedition 33 by Sandful Interactive and Kepler Interactive for the best independent game. Again, this would take it if these two games didn't exist. And I don't know, and that's a good question. If it was just Hades 2 and Silksong, would I still pick Hades 2? I think I might pick Hades 2 over Silksong, because I think moment to moment gameplay, too much frustration with this. Even though I love the hardness of Silksong, I just love the story and the runs and the music and everything else they're in with Hades 2. I just have too much bias within Hades 2 to just not give it its flowers or to give it my game of the year. But again, Expedition 33 is just right there, and every time I play this game, every time I open it up, it is just a spectacle of achievement, and I can't help but say, wow, this game is amazing. I love this game. It's my game of the year. So going back to all categories, my game of the year is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I have voted for the others, so if you want to see my entire voting for the Game Awards, I will drop that in the description of this video or up top here. That'll pop up in the banner. But yeah, let me know how you feel about best independent game. Should Expedition 33 be on this list at all, because you wouldn't consider it an indie game? How do you feel about Ball Pit? I want to know people about Ball Pit. I want to know how you feel about it. Again, I'm not hating. It's a good game. It just didn't vibe with me. I played it for like 4 hours. I didn't really get it. So Blueprints is great. Dark Horse game needs more. Absolum, fantastic game. Don't have to talk about these two as much, but yeah, let me know how you feel about this category in particular. Let me know what you voted on in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to enjoy the Game Awards season. Oh, before I go, the Game Awards is not the only award show that will be available. 6-1 Indie is going to be popping off with their Indie Game Award show on December the 18th. I always want to support 6-1 Indie. And what you'll find, and I think this is probably going to be the better one for me specifically, because it has a lot of more games that I play, because I'm more of an indie game person. And you can see all of the categories here. And I'm going to try to go to, like, what do they have for Game of the Year? I'm gonna go, where is it at? I think Game of the Year. Yeah, so Game of the Year for the 6-1 Indie Game Awards, we have Absolum and Roger, Consume Me, Blueprint, Citizen Sleeper 2, there it is, Pipistrello, Keep Driving, Hollow Knight, Silksong, Hades 2, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I get tongue-tied every time I say it. So Absolum, Expedition 33, Hades 2, Silksong, obviously there. Blueprints is already there. Citizen Sleeper 2. I played the first game. I haven't played all the way through the second game, but yeah, it definitely deserves to be in this category. Pipistrello, I heard it was great. Keep Driving, played the demo. Fantastic soundtrack, fantastic dev. I talked about one of the early games on the channel as well. Consume Me, I don't know too much about Consume Me, but I heard it's good. So, and then and Roger, one of the more emotional games of this year. So yeah, I wish that the Game Awards would have more games in the categories, because I love what 6-1 Indie is doing. But yeah, if you want to check out 6-1 Indie, their Indie Game Awards is going to be December the 18th, and the Game Awards itself is on December 11th. So yeah, award season is hot and heavy, and why am I saying it like that? But yeah, it is in full swing. So if you want to check those out, I will put a link to those in the description of this video as well. But hey, thank you so much for enjoying me and for just hearing me yap about how I feel about best indie game. And I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching again. My name is Chike. All right. Peace out.